Welcome back. Leading sports tonight, Vodafone Fiji Mbati hardman Tyreek Sims celebrated a pre-NRL season win yesterday as his North Queensland Cowboys rode the Brisbane Broncos to a 16-7 win in the final of the inaugural NRL Auckland Nines. The Cowboys have lauded a strong defensive effort as the key plank that took them to the first piece of significant silverware for their trophy cabinet.
A strong Fiji presence in the Crunch semi-final. Cowboys Tyreek Sims facing compatriot and Warriors Jason Bukuya. The defense proved the telling factor as the previously unstoppable Warriors were shut out in all facets.
There is a chance for the Warriors. Oh, the kick! Oh, hang on a second. It's not the big bash league. You don't have to put it over the fence. It has found open space. They're getting back. Zach Santo has got it. Santo is having it. Oh, he's got the ball. No.
A second unanswered try instantly labelled the Cowboys the new favourites.
Tompkins, Bukuya. What about the Cowboys' defence?
As they beat the home team with a resolute 8-0 victory. Sims started off the bench in the final against the Broncos, who beat the Sharks 18-14 in the other semi-final. The tenacious Cowboys shooting to a 10-0 lead. Their incredible goal line defence forming the foundation stone against the Broncos.
McCulloch, good ball, flat, Gillett, close, 5 in the tackle. Thaiday and McCulloch is not over.
Even when Brisbane looked to have struck back, the Cowboys had another reply, sealing the match 16-7 to win the inaugural NRL Auckland Nines. William Tambuya, Fiji One News.
Newcomers to schools Rugby League Assemblies of God stamped their mark over the weekend to beat neighbours Nasinu 6-4 in one of the Vodafone Tano challenges. In under-19 matches, Suva Grammar beat Marist Brothers High School 12-6. In the other pool, Tano holders Lomeri retained the woodwork, beating Latter Day Saints Church College 14-8. The new Super Rugby season got underway yesterday with only 2 matches played in South Africa. The Lions created the first upset with a shock 21-20 victory over the Cheetahs, while the Sharks, under a new director, powered to a bonus point victory over the Bulls.
A dream debut for new Sharks director of rugby Jake White, while not such a promising comeback for Springbok legend and Bulls forward Victor Matfield. The 110 cap talisman inspired the former champs to a late consolation through John O'Ross, but not before first half tries by Paul Jordan, Kobus Reinach and Odwa Ndugani had earlier put the hosts on top. Patrick Lambie scored a late try after the final hooter had sounded to secure the bonus point and complete a personal match haul of 16 points, the Sharks winning 31-16. The Lions kicked off their 2014 Super Rugby season with a shock 21-20 away victory over the Cheetahs in Bloemfontein. A late drop goal with 2 minutes left on the clock from Manix Boshoff sealed the match for the Lions. The Cheetahs outscored the Lions by 2 tries to none, but they were unable to create any real space between themselves and the Lions, who have been out of Super Rugby for almost a year and a half. William Tambuya, Fiji One News.
The Suva football team has made it 5 out of 5 in the National League competition so far. Riding high after 4 straight victories, Suva had to work hard to win over Nandronga in front of home fans at the ANZ Stadium yesterday. Striker Samuel Ndrundru continued his sensational form, scoring the lone goal of the match from a counter-attack, taking his tally to 6 goals in 5 games. With a 1-0 victory, the capital city side has extended its lead and sits on top of the table standings with 15 points. In other games over the weekend, Ba and Rewa played to a 0-0 draw, while Nandi defeated Lambasa 1-0 at Subrel Park. Arsenal are through to the FA Cup quarter-finals after defeating fierce rival Liverpool today. Following their 5-1 thrashing at Anfield in the Premier League, the Gunners got their revenge after putting on a more consistent display at the Emirates. They face Everton next, who beat Swansea 3-1.
Arsenal were out to avenge the 5-1 Premier League thrashing by Liverpool in the FA Cup 5th round clash this morning. The Gunners surviving an early onslaught by the visiting Liverpool, with goalkeeper Lucas Fabianski putting up a heroic performance. Arsenal lucky enough to escape early pressure from Liverpool, and against the run of play, Arsenal got the early lead with their first real attack of the match as both teams went into breather with the Gunners leading 1-0. In the second half, Liverpool were not ready to take defeat and kept pressure on Arsenal as they kept missing the opportunities with chances going begging for the side. Fabianski was again at his best, denying Luis Suarez an equaliser, and Arsenal broke to double their advantage when Chamberlain turned provider for Lucas Podolski. The goal hero then turned into villain, clumsily tripped Suarez from behind, and Liverpool were awarded the penalty. Steven Gerrard sent Fabianski the wrong way to keep his side in the match. But Arsenal survived a Liverpool onslaught until the final whistle, winning the match 2-1 to keep their FA Cup dream alive. Irfan Khan, Fiji One News.
Manchester City also powered forward with ease into the FA Cup quarterfinals yesterday, overcoming Premier League title rival Chelsea 2-0 to maintain its quadruple chase. Stevan Jovetic and Samir Nasri provided the goals to avenge a 1-0 league loss this month, with a formidable City in complete control and preventing Chelsea from hitting the target once.
And Dzeko for Jovetic, there's the goal. Missed the first chance, took the second. Manchester City lead.
Well, it's a shame they've had a second opportunity, especially with Jovetic. He misses the first one, but he gets this one away.
Nasri again. David Silva, Nasri, 2-0. Big problems for Chelsea now. It's Samir Nasri yet again.
The Wellington Phoenix dropped out of the A-League playoff spots after being annihilated 5-0 by Melbourne Heart at home yesterday. Roy Krishna's team needed a win to leapfrog 6th place Sydney, but the Phoenix turned in one of their worst performances of the season to fall out of the top 6. Heart striker David Williams bagged a hat-trick as the Melbourne side notched their first victory on New Zealand soil and broke a 22 away game winless streak. Orlando Angela also scored for the visitors in the first half, while Phoenix keeper Glenn Moss capped off a disappointing day. Krishna was not used in this match. The Fiji Sports Council expects a bigger and better Fiji Annual Awards to be held this Friday. The Sports Council had a big turnout at the event last year and expects the numbers to increase this time around.
Organizers for the Fiji Sports Awards remain busy with only 4 days to the evening gala event.
Preparations for the night is going on fine, and we managed to finalize stakeholders and partners that are coming forward to help us in the decorations, setting up of the stages, the lights.
83 nominations are confirmed in the 11 categories. This is the highest received by the organizing committee as sporting federations get behind the awards. About 700 guests are expected to turn out for the special night dedicated to recognizing athletes and officials.
Ticket sales are going on well, and it's going out very fast. We're so thankful to the corporate organizations, business houses, and the government departments. They are very supportive of the Fiji Sports, the Annual Sports Award this year.
With 75 tables altogether, only 14 remain to be sold. This highlights the popularity of the event, and the organizers have been getting positive response.
At the moment, we have only 14 tables left. From the 75 tables, we have 14 tables that is available. And we're still getting in calls, we're still getting people booking for tables.
The Fiji Sports Awards will be held on Friday at the Vodafone Arena. Irfan Khan, Fiji One News.
Nutrition plays a very important role in molding the best in athletes, irrespective of what sport they play. It's an issue that we take for granted here in Fiji, and something that Akata Trust is preaching about for sporting organizations to consider.
It was an afternoon with a difference. The Uptown Boxing Club was at the Peninsula Conference Room, understanding how better nutrition affects their performances.
It's not readily available at affordable cost here, so we want to make them competitive in the international realm. So just to give them a boost so they know exactly what they can do before their training and post-training to maximise their performance.
This is the first of its kind they are holding in the Eastern Division, with the aim to provide the best nutrition education to these boxers.
If, for example, in the climate in Fiji, it's very hot, and if they dehydrate themselves a lot to make their power to weight ratio in their categories, they can make themselves fatigued. So we're just trying to give them other alternatives so they can fight to the best of their ability. So it's very important when it comes to nutrition.
She adds, as strange as it may be, healthy eating and healthy lifestyle makes one a happier person.
I guess, competitive fighting all become easier. Training becomes easier when you're eating the right foods and the right amounts of those foods.
Burgess is a volunteer with the Akata Trust, which stands for Action for Children and the Aged, and is a health outreach program not only for boxing but for all sports in Fiji. Selina Navuso, Fiji One News.
Fred Leota of Waluva'a, a Trigger Canoe Club, was crowned V1 champion on Saturday at Race 2 of the 2014 Open Men's 12.5 kilometers marathon series. Leota clocked 1 hour 7 minutes, a minute ahead of second place Johnny Chung, also of Waluva'a. There were a total of 21 paddlers in the Open Men's category. The Open Women's raced 10 kilometers with 17 paddlers. Kaiwai's Salome Tambotale won in 1 hour 6 minutes, just a split second ahead of second placed Teresa Avon of Tafanga.
No, this is a normal regatta of ours, and we just brought it down to the foreshore today just to try and get a little bit more publicity and more awareness of it.
Mariola Turuti was the toast of the day at the Ballantyne Memorial School Interhouse after clocking 13.71 seconds to win the 100 meters final at the ANZ Stadium today. She also went on to win the 800 meters. BMS is aiming to make a comeback at the Suva Zone 1 meet this year after very disappointing performances in the past years. The school is adamant they have what it takes in the long distance after an impressive performance at the Interhouse today. They prefer to keep a low profile with their athletes from the 4 houses that have advanced into the zone. Being a first-year school principal, Merioni Motukiliu feels nothing is impossible.
We have few new girls who came from other schools with their records. And we're looking forward. I was asking them and they said, yeah, we're really doing fine and doing well compared to last year.
And finally in sports tonight, the Black Caps captain Brendan McCullum and wicket-keeper BJ Watling are stubbornly holding up India's push for a series-levelling victory in the second test in Wellington last night. McCullum scored a patient century after the Black Caps were in all sorts of trouble for 94 for 5 and are on 252 for 5, a lead of 6 runs. India built a 246-run first innings lead and seized control of the test when the Black Caps lost a further 4 wickets yesterday.
A trademark Brendan McCullum shot.
Wow.
To bring up Test 100 number 9.
What a way to go to it.
But century-making 6 aside, this captain's knock was far from typical. McCullum's 197 ball ton, restrained, gritty, even downright stubborn, as the skipper fought to prevent his side from being completely skittled.
There wasn't that huge smile, that big elation that you would expect. It was more, my job's not done yet.
Granted, he had his share of luck. Dropped once on 9, then again on 36. The 32-year-old's 50 coming off 146 painstaking balls, the slowest of his 84 test career. Though there was still the occasional hint of flair.
Oh, McCullum has thrashed that through the covers for 4. Magnificent, absolutely magnificent.
Even more magnificent given the situation he came into.
Oh, Denny, was there a fine edge? They all get on, he's given!
That's a beauty, absolute beauty.
New Zealand 52 for 3, and just as the Black Caps looked to be rebuilding...
Oh, has he nicked that? I think he might have, yes.
Top edge out.
McCullum and BJ Watling left to whittle away at India's lead, the skipper's fortune rubbing off on his partner.
Oh, it's the best edge BJ Watling's got all day.
Regardless, Watling proved equally stubborn at the other end. His 50 came off a whopping 190 deliveries. New Zealand finally taking a lead late in the day. And while there's a long way to go, with this pair at the crease, the pipe dream of a great escape isn't quite so distant.
It's all from sports today, Willie.
Thanks, Myron. Stay with us. We have world news after the break.